Hi everyone, my name is Rose, also known as that vegan cosplayer on the internet, and I am going to be doing a video on cosplaying the characters from the new upcoming comic called Liberator by Matt Miner et al. About his main protagonists, Jeanette and Damon. So I have to make a few disclaimers. One, I don't have a video editor, so any and all mistakes that happen I can't cut out, and this video might be a little long. Two, please take into account that I have money to purchase these things. This might be a challenge for other people who might not have much income or steady income or, are able to get fast cash. Three, I am just a fan. I am not associated with the comic book making at all. If you want to read more about Liberator, which I really suggest you do, especially if you're a vegan, animal rights activist, and into comics and the nerd fandom, please visit www.mattminer.net to learn more, or just go to your Google search and type in Liberator comic, and you'll find tons of information about this great comic coming up. Anyway, recently I did a photo shoot focusing on the comic book's female protagonist, Jeanette Francis, and I would like to discuss how to make this costume. Now, the first thing to remember is you don't really have to sew or make anything for this costume. You mostly just have to buy things and put them together. Now remember, this is going to take time and money, and the sources that I am going to provide in the description, which will be below with all the links, doesn't mean you have to get those things from those places that I designate. I highly suggest looking around at your local stores, thrift shops, anything where you can get the materials you need at a price you can afford. Anyway, I'm going to try and go by each item step by step and then make some suggestions for later things at the end. Okay, so one of the most important things for liberating animals, be it in the real world or not, is the sweater. Now, both characters are portrayed with a hoodie with no pockets and no zipper. That's extremely hard to find unless you want to make your own. And if you want to make all the pieces to this costume, please feel free. I wish I could do that. So any black hoodie will do. I purchased mine from Hanes.com. It was actually on sale. I also need to make the disclaimer that I'm speaking from the experience of buying women's clothing. I will also be providing as best I can things aimed for men. This is just a very standard black hoodie. Hoodie flipped inside out. We got some pockets and a zipper. I'm a nut for keeping to details. Excuse me, I'm very intense about keeping the details with characters. It's just a little unrealistic unless you make your own clothing with these characters because they're stylized just like any other fictional character. So basic hoodie. That cost me, it was on sale for, I want to say around $12. You can probably find a hoodie at a thrift store, or if you have a plain black hoodie, that'll be perfect. It's just something very standard that you can find anywhere. So that would probably, depending on where you live, you could probably pick one up for $5 from a thrift store, anywhere between $5 to $20, unless you want like expensive designer brand, but why would you? Anyway, another good item to have are gloves. Gloves are a little harder to find. These are technically formal gloves because that was what I could find at the time, made of nylon. Be careful of leather gloves. Also, these nylon gloves kind of have that nice sheen smooth look that are often portrayed in the comics. These cost me $10. I got them online from a random search. I will be linking to random searches. But they more or less look like this. Now this is just some aesthetic appeal. There's a little design at the bottom. But if you want a little longer one, you can even go for something like this. Formal gloves might be your bet, but be careful of satin because satin can contain silk. And that is an animal product, as we all know. And if you want to keep this a vegan costume for a vegan character, I highly suggest sticking to it. One of the harder things for me to find was an appropriate mask. Because in the pictures, both characters are wearing scarves and masks. I had no idea half masks exist, and now I learned something new. This is called a biker's half mask. As you can see, there is, I'm holding it upside down, there is a hole for the nose to breathe through and little holes for you to breathe through your mouth, and there's Velcro on the back. So it goes on like this. This is what it looks like. You can also get these with extensions that go down and cover the neck down to here. Remember, you want a solid black one. This cost me roughly $10. You can get them anywhere probably between $10 and $15. Search Amazon, Google, or eBay for such a thing. There's going to be lots of them with different colors or designs like skulls for some reason, but I highly suggest just plain black. That's what both characters are wearing. Unless you want to somehow put the scarf above your face, which is difficult to stay up when you are cosplaying. I wouldn't suggest it. One of the harder things too to find were the pants. Now both characters are wearing cargo pants, and cargo pants kind of went out of style with the 90s. These I got on eBay. I was very lucky to find them. The cargo pants are generally loose-fitting pants with lots of pockets to hold things in, which is really nice when you're cosplaying, for women especially, because a lot of those costumes would have pockets. I highly suggest checking thrift stores, Amazon, eBay, things like that. I can't remember the exact price of these, but what I've been searching online, the rough estimate is $20. You could probably find these anywhere from $15 to $40 with shopping on eBay, Google, Amazon. I would just check around your local area if you can find cargo pants, but they're going to be a little difficult to find. Also, remember to take your measurements with a tape measure or something so you know exactly what you're purchasing fit appropriately. Okay. The scarf was also a little tricky, because a lot of loose, long-fitting, long and loose-fitting scarves that are smooth are made of silk. But I was able to find, and I will link in the description, cotton scarves. Just type in black cotton scarf onto Amazon. I actually recommend eBay, it'll be easier to find. We got this nice scarf, it's slightly see-through, and it flows just like the characters' scarves do, and it just wraps around the neck very nicely. It's very long, definitely over 20 inches. You know, it's hard to see in photos, of course, if you're wearing all black, but that's playing to the characters and what they look like. Another difficult thing are boots. Boots are expensive. So if you don't have any, they're combat/military style looking boots. I'm going to actually link exactly the boots I have by a company called Nana? I don't know how to pronounce it. But they look like this. She's often depicted, Jeanette anyway, with knee-high boots, but any sort of combat boot will be good, which often goes to mid-cap or the knees especially on women. So you got all those nice, oh, I can't remember the name of these, I used to know, all these nice holes for the laces, convenient zipper, remember, black. Be sure to get vegan boots. A lot of them are made out of synthetics, polyurethane, or vinyl, but I suggest polyurethane over vinyl because vinyl has that weird, squeaky thing going. Okay. Now, another difficult thing, which actually Matt helped me find because I was getting very uptight about it, is the belt. Now, what you're probably going to do is get a tactical belt. As I said earlier, I'm very intense with keeping to the character, and I was first searching for a brown belt because she's often depicted with a brown belt, but I had to kind of cut corners because brown tactical belt's hard to find. So I have mine right here. This is basically what it looks like. This cost me roughly $35, and my research online tells me that it'll cost anywhere from $20 to $40, roughly. You want to get one that has all these add-ons. The add-ons, of course, are going to cost extra. I purposely set this up to look exactly like the way her layout is. It's nice because you can adjust this to your waist size, which is very convenient. It has more add-ons, but I don't have them on here. They're in my room. Now, so that's all the main costume, what's on the person. There are a lot of props you can have that go with these characters. Now, tools are a very, very useful thing for this. Real tools or foam tools, which you can get on eBay. I don't have links for that, but when I researched last, they cost anywhere between $20 and $30. You're going to find the more common tools like axes and hammers. Usually, a lot of them are horror setting, but you should be able to just find plain tools that are made of foam or rubber. Rubber and foam, main things you use. Now for my photo shoot, I used real tools because, hey, it's just a photo shoot. I'm not going to a convention. And if you go to a convention with real tools, you're going to have to put them in as weapons. So you're going to have to go to weapons check, and I would just suggest getting synthetic or even making your own if you like to make props. I'm not sure how you go about making that, but there are lots of tutorials for that online, so please look those up. Now, this was one of my main tools, which unfortunately did not get edited by my photographer because I guess those Those photos didn't come out so well. But these are 14-inch bolt cutters. Those are good tools to have. Fake or not, I'd recommend an axe, a sledgehammer. If you have a sledgehammer slash axe, that would be really cool. Screwdrivers, spray paint, red is a good color always. A fake Molotov, which would just be a clear bottle, like a root beer bottle, which is what I used, a rag, and water. Please don't set anything on fire in real life unless you're actually committing an act of liberation, but please do research on that first. I'm not condoning that. This is just for aesthetics only. Please, government, don't come after me. Other good tools, screwdrivers, did I already say that? Pliers, wire cutters, bolt cutters, axe hammer, screwdriver. I think I've repeated myself a lot. Anything to fill up the pockets is good. Oh, a mini flashlight, that one's a good one too. Other props you can have, what I plan to do for conventions is to get a realistic animal plushie. Those plushies can be a lot more expensive than the ones that look more cartoony or less real. Those will probably run well above $20. But animals you can use for that are rabbits, guinea pigs, rats, mice, cats, dogs, anything, since animals are always tested on or killed or butchered. I would suggest a small animal simply because it's easier to hold around than like I have this fake, realistic baby calf plushie. That wouldn't work. Let's see, I've covered the main clothing, props, more props, disclaimers, and that's all I can really suggest. If you're into veganism and animal rights and you like comics, or even if you don't like comics, I would really, really suggest checking out and ordering Liberator, which comes out, I believe, June 19th? Comes out in June, mid-June, mid-late June. So please check that out, and have a good day, everybody.